What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode with my pal Alex and Feisty Pants.
The force is strong with this one. Ah, it's dumb. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Alex's Toy Show. It's your YouTube hoodie-weight champion of the world, and we just saw Star Wars! Alright, I'm not gonna sing. It was awesome! Who's seen it? I made this video the other night. I saw it, went and saw it by myself before I went and saw it with the family and Feisty Pants, and because I couldn't wait. I had to see it. And then I figured for you guys, I waited on this video to release it so that everyone had gotten to see it. But I had to get this down in my head while it's fresh in my head. So the story opens with, first of all, I have to say, J.J. Abrams, bless your heart, I was not disappointed one goddamn second of that whole movie. At all. I loved it from opening credits to the end credits. It opens with Poe Dameron, and he's on the planet of Jakku, and he's searching out this older gentleman who I didn't get his name, but I had the feeling that he was somebody important because he got killed nearly right away. The First Order invaded the planet, and we got a good look at Kylo Ren, and he's fucking pissed, and he's just like, you're dead. And so they take Poe prisoner because the big deal is everybody's looking for the map. It's a star map that leads to where Luke Skywalker isolated himself. Apparently what had happened in the past is you have Han and Leia. Han have two children. They leave the girl in seclusion, and their son, who becomes Kylo Ren, trains with Luke Skywalker as he tries to establish a new Jedi Order. Kylo Ren says, "Nah," and he goes and kills everybody. Not on the level that Anakin killed everybody in the Jedi Temple, but enough more sensitive half-Jedi people who could have made a difference in the world. And I get the feeling that this last older man might have been a Jedi of some sort. He's like maybe one who got away, and Kylo Ren meets up with him. So anyway, little BB-8 unit gets away. He puts the little map. I don't know what it is. It's on a little thumb drive, futuristic thumb drive, bigger than a thumb. I don't know, but he puts it. Poe Dameron, he says, BB-8, take this and get the hell out of here. So he takes off, and Poe Dameron gets captured, and the stormtroopers light the place up. They wreck everything. They burn it down. They're shooting people. Kylo Ren is walking back to his ship, and he's like, walking back, and he's like, stops in his tracks. And he looks at Finn, who we find out doesn't really have a name. He's FN and a series of numbers. That's his serial number as a stormtrooper. So, it's funny. So to me, that says that Kylo Ren is like, I need to watch out for this guy. As the movie progresses, you see Kylo Ren throws a fit, and he's like, God damn it! I should have killed him when I had the chance. Jesus Christ! It's really funny. What else? So Poe's captured, and let's see, and FN 12345. That's the secret combination of the code. The air shield. He escorts Poe to somewhere, but it turns out to be the hangar bay, and he's like, I'm gonna get you off the ship. So that's how they get off the ship. They Poe is the pilot, Finn is the gunner, and they get shot down and they crash back on Jakku. Now, Poe disappears, and we find out later that he was thrown from the wreckage and he's fine and he made it back to the fleet already. But Finn carries on the adventure at this point. So, BB-8 runs into Rey. We go to Rey's side of the story. Rey is a scavenger on the planet Jakku. She goes and investigates wreckages all throughout the planet, and you see in the vast field of the desert, there's a Star Destroyer. We saw this part in the trailer. There's a Star Destroyer crash down. There's AT-ATs. There's all sorts of different spaceships as you see the movie go on. She gathers up anything that could be of value, and she sells it for credit to buy food with. So she comes across BB-8. They meet up. The guy that buys all the junk is like, I'll give you 60 credits for that droid. And she's like, I've never seen that money in my life. And she goes to take it, and then she's like, you know, she gets the inkling, no, I can't take it. So she says, no, the droid's not for sale. Immediately, she meets up with Finn, and all of a sudden the stormtroopers are back down on the planet. Kylo Ren has thrown his fit, and he's like, son of a bitch, go get that MFer and bring back that droid. And so right away, you know, there's a pairing because now they're all being hunted. So so they partner up, and they're like, we got to get out of here. The droid is rolling after them. I love BB-8, by the way. So they're running to get a ship to get off the planet, Finn and Rey and BB-8, and he's like, what about that one? And she's like, nah, it's a piece of junk. Let's go to my cruiser. And boom, they blow up the cruiser as the TIE fighters are attacking. And they're like, okay, the piece of junk will do. It was really funny. The humor was just, it moved right along. There was no lull. There was no, oh, this part is boring, I can go to the bathroom. There was none of that. The movie just continued to flow from opening scene to end scene. And the piece of junk turns out to be, ta-da, the Millennium Falcon. It's like, oh, shit. So they hop in the Falcon, they get out of there, and then they get captured by Han and Chewie. Yes, Han and Chewie have been running a giant, like, smuggling ship, and they, you know, they can collect it, and everybody gets reunited here. I'll get into that in a little bit. So Han and Chewie, they fend off some smugglers that are attacking him, and they hop in the Falcon, and they get back to the fleet, which is where the, instead of the rebellion, this is now the resistance they're being called, and they meet up with this old woman, like centuries old. Like Han says, you know, oh, this lady, she's ran this place for 1,000 years, and it's really because she's seen, and she's got these giant goggles like this. And this is where everybody kind of parts ways a bit. Han and Chewie are talking to this lady. Rey is like, no, Finn says, I need to get out of here because he's on the run from the First Order. And Rey goes after him, like, you can't leave, and you have to stay, and we all got to fight. And Finn's like, not having it. So he goes off with these two smuggler guys who can get him off the planet. And then Rey gets this little calling. And this is really where The Force Awakens serves as such a great title for this movie. So she goes down to downstairs, and she's checking it out, and her whole thing changes. Like, she goes into this little room, she opens this chest, and there it is, Luke Skywalker's fucking lightsaber in his hoodie, and she picks it up, and the whole thing changes. It's on the ship, and Kylo Ren is just coming at her and all different things. She's getting a vision of the Force, or from the Force, I'm sorry, of the future. And she's like, what just happened? And the little old lady with the goggles is like, you have been chosen, and this is your path, and you must take it, and what you've been waiting for is not back on that planet, but it lies ahead of you. Because what happens is Rey won't leave Jakku because she's waiting for her parents or her family to come back and get her. She knows she's been abandoned on this planet. Turns out it's Han and Leia who left her there, because what I'm guessing is that the women are not immediately Force sensitive in the Skywalker family. Anakin had it early on. Luke had it. Obi-Wan, he didn't know he had it until we saw the events take place in Star Wars Episode 4. Obi-Wan knew because, you know, shit went down back in the prequels. But we didn't know that Leia had the ability until after we found out that they were brother and sister in Empire Strikes Back. And then even in Return of the Jedi, she didn't really have that much, other than that she knew that Luke got off the Death Star before it blew when they're celebrating on Endor. Which actually makes it very interesting, as I'll get to later on. This is going to be a long review. This is going to be great. So what happens? So the First Order makes it to the planet, and they're attacking everybody. They're like, oh shit, this is going down, and this is going down, and the Resistance arrives and saves the day, and Poe's leading the group, and they're shooting everybody down, and all this other stuff, and they're like, okay, now we really need to get things under control, because, you know, the shit's hitting the fan, is basically what happens. So everybody gets back together, And they make their way over to Princess Leia, who is now General Leia in the Resistance. And they're using Finn's knowledge of, I guess, the Star Killer to say, I know the ins and outs of this place because I used to be a maintenance guy. And Han Solo's like, maintenance? And it's really great how they're formulating the plan. You know, they got the giant thing, and here's the Death Star, and well, the Death Star blew up. There's got to be something we can use, and there's this, and there's that, and A, B, and C, and D plus E equals F, and bang! They figure out a plan, and they're on their way back. So we see a vicious battle. X-Wing fighters led by Poe, you know, they're blowing up this, and they're blowing up that, and there's damage, but not enough damage, and they're like, ah, shit. And you may think, uh-oh, it's the Popo. Grim, hide your ass! What happened? So, let's see. Okay, so they're like, okay, well, we can break our way down there and free Rey at the same time, because Rey was taken prisoner on the attack of the planet. I forgot, I left that little part out. So Finn and Han and Chewie and BB-8 go back to save her on the Star Killer, and, turns out the Star Killer is not an actual spaceship. It's a planet, and it's been completely turned into a ship, and it draws its energy from the sun, and it shoots it out, and sure enough, it's some fucking serious nonsense. So Han and Chewie, they break their way down into the core, and they light charges all over the place, and all of a sudden, stormtroopers come by, and they're like, oh, no, we can still get out of here. But then, Kylo Ren comes by, and he walks out onto this long, you know, narrow strip of walking space, and then down below is like everything you could fall down your ass. And you know, it's like you get the inkling right away, Han, don't walk out there. But Han walks out there because you know, him and Leia were talking, and she's like, Han, if you see our son, bring him home. Han goes to go get him, and it was a nice touching story. And for a brief second, you really thought that Kylo Ren was gonna come back with Han Solo, because he takes his helmet off, and you know, he's going on about like, I'm being torn apart inside, and there's like his tough guy voice, and then he's like, Dad, I'm being torn apart inside. And it's his little like hurt voice, and he gives him his lightsaber. He gives the lightsaber to Han. And Han takes it. Like, there's two, you know, he's got his two hands like this on the lightsaber, and Han takes it by the middle, but he doesn't let go. And then he turns it on, and he kills Han Solo, and I'm like, no! Oh, you dumb old man! But you know what? I was okay with it, because the story has to move on. And even though I'm a huge Han Solo fan, and I love Harrison Ford and all the movies that he plays, but right away, you know, Ren and Finn and BB-8 are up in the balcony, and they're like, no! And Chewie is like, raw, fuck this! And he starts shooting everybody with his crossbow and fucking blowing shit up, and he even shoots Kylo Ren, and he's like, oh! He took a hit, and he's hurt, and he's like, ah, damn it! And so they start running away, right? And, this is where Rey wakes up with the Force, because just when you think Finn grabs Luke's lightsaber, you know, he's still got it, and he has a little battle, and he held himself pretty, you know, he held his own pretty greatly, but he was no match for Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren just chomp, and he chops him across the back, and you know, you think he's dead, because he dropped right down and didn't have anything doing in the rest of the movie. So Kylo Ren is like, you know, he sees the lightsaber on the ground, because, you know, Finn dropped it when he fell to his, you know, near death. We're going to say near death, because he didn't die. So, Kylo Ren is like, come to me, lightsaber. And it starts to move, and it's like, you know, you can almost see his confidence behind the mask, even though he's got the mask on, you can't see shit. But instead, in the line of sight is Rey, and she's grabbing the lightsaber, and it comes to her, and she's like, it's on, brother. Because they're brother-sister, and they figured this out already, and, you know, I might have skipped that back then. But pretty much, it's Kylo Ren, his name is Ben Solo, Rey is Rey Solo, children of Han Solo and Princess Leia, and they are both Force-sensitive. Now, Kylo Ren, more Force-sensitive than Rey, but, you know, it comes, you know, it awakens, and here we have Episode 7. So they have it out, and, Rey actually gets the better of him because Kylo Ren, like Darth Maul, is too cocky. He's too sure of himself. So Rey gets the upper hand in the battle, and then the ground starts breaking apart, and everybody's like, "Oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here." So, so BB-8, Chewie, Rey, and Finn escape on the Falcon. Poe and what's left of the squadron, they hit, you know, the charges blow up, and everything's blowing up, and things are blowing up. People are flying out of here, and you think they leave Kylo Ren on the ground, but I guess one of the Imperials of the First Order, one of the soldiers, went back and got him because they're like, "Get out of there." And there's this mysterious leader. Of course there is, because with the Sith, there's always two. So Kylo Ren is your forward guy, and all we see in the hologram projector is the guy called what the fuck was his name? Shit, I forgot his name already. But you know, he's in a shadowy outfit. You see his face, and then he's got this giant crevice on his forehead. He's scary dude, and he's just manipulating the shit out of Kylo Ren or Ben Solo. And even in the confrontation between Kylo Ren and Han on that little bridge before he kills Han, he says, "I murdered your son and I have become Kylo Ren." So we have the whole theory, you know, the whole retelling of how Anakin was murdered and became Darth Vader on a certain point of view. So that was pretty cool. And they get back, and what was cool was when Han died, you know, they're like, "Oh crap," and they didn't cut away from the story, but then they did, and you know, you see a scene of Leia like, "Oh no," and she had to sit down, and she felt, you know, Han's death. So that really spoke to me about the development of Leia's powers with the Force. You know, she's not like Luke Skywalker is on the level of him, but she does feel it, you know. So that's kind of cool. So so they come back. Finn's gonna live. They get him into the ER, and he's gonna be fine. And Rey is now on her final mission of the movie, and it is now, they have the missing pieces. R2. They reveal R2-D2, and he's been powered down under some rule, and I don't understand clearly why, but he powers up at the end of the movie, and he's got, like, this giant star map, and then BB-8 uses his little map, and it's like the missing puzzle piece, and they figure out where to find Luke Skywalker. There's a path, and now it connects, and now the remainder of the path lights up, and it's like, that's where it is. So Rey goes and meets Luke Skywalker, and it's really something. Like, it's really powerful, the message. There's no words. It's just, you know, the song is playing, Rey's climbing her mountains, you know, like she's that scavenger, and she's using her skills, and then she comes to this clearing on a mountaintop, and there's Luke Skywalker off in the distance. You know, look at, you know, and all you see is the hood. But you know it's him, because it's like, who else is it gonna be? So Rey comes up to him, and, you know, she puts her big spear thing on her shoulder, and he turns around, and he's like, you know, he's got this, like, this look about him, like, I can't believe everything that happened, and I'm sorry, because he feels it's his fault that Kylo Ren became, you know, so powerful. And she doesn't say anything. All she does is hand him his lightsaber, and he's like, he takes it, and then it closes, and there's the theme song, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe that's how it ended. I need to see episode 8 right now, but now we have to wait for episode 8. I'm gonna go see this movie like 6 more times this week. Let's pick up on things that we missed, things that I missed, things that you noticed. I want to hear all about it. I do have a separate video. I'll link it real quick. My brother and I, we made the Star Wars party questions, and then we did an answers. And what I'm going to do is a comparison of what we got right and what we got wrong, and, you know, what we didn't even see coming. So like this video, leave me a comment, and may the Force be with you!